pasta. These are julienne strips of zucchini and yellow squash.
This is a really healthy dish.
Very healthy.
So not only are you stirring this, you said it's important to keep the pan moving.
You want
Why
to keep
is
the
that?
pan moving. Well, that way it cooks all the ingredients more evenly. If we're doing this on fairly high heat.
Did you just add some sea salt to that too?
I just added, this is kosher salt and crushed black pepper.
Okay.
A little bit of each. Just to add a little seasoning along with the basil. And if you can smell that, what you have is taste of pine nuts going into the olive oil. Now that's pretty much ready to go. A little more oil. And like I said, we have a total of probably about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil.
Not much at all.
Now we're going to add our pasta. And like I said before, we're just going to have enough oil in here to coat the pasta.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. Couldn't get much healthier than that.
And I like to keep the seasoning light. A little bit of salt and pepper, some fresh basil. And that's pretty much all you need in this dish.
All right, let's get it out of the pan.
It is a nice array of colors.
So if you have friends or family coming in from out of town and they're looking for a place to stay, or you're looking for some sort of getaway, certainly the Ramada Inn would be a great place to do that. And you can have this lovely food. Oh, topping it off with goat
With
cheese.
some goat cheese. Oops.
I think we need to taste it now.
I think you should too.
And now the hardest part of the job, the taste test, shall we? Let's give it a try. That is amazing. Whoever sits at your table at Flavors of Westmoreland is going to be very, very happy. Your first time cooking at Flavors?
Absolutely.
Nervous and excited at the same time?
A little bit.
No, I think you'll be wonderful, and we appreciate your support so much of the Liver Foundation and Flavors of Westmoreland. Chef Jeff from the Ramada Inn in Greensburg.
It's a wonderful cause.
Well, we have another exciting main course for you to try at home with chicken. And this time, our special guest executive chef is Laura Armitage, and she is a veteran executive chef at Arnold Palmer's Latrobe Country Club. 8 years you've spent there cooking, and this is your second year cooking at Flavors of Westmoreland for the Liver Foundation. We're so thankful. And just hearing about this recipe is making me hungry today. So tell me all about it. What are you making today?
Okay, today we're going to be doing an Italian marinated chicken breast. We're going to pan sear it, and then we're going to do a potato hash with it.
Wonderful. Okay, let's take me through the ingredients now. Looks pretty simple.
Okay, we have diced celery, diced zucchini and yellow squash, diced potatoes that I've already blanched, black beans, mixed bell peppers, red onion, and this is a smoked pickled jalapeno, salt, pepper, minced garlic, paprika, and parsley.
Wonderful. Okay, step one.
Okay. Make sure our pan's hot enough. Put some olive oil in it. Turn that up a little bit.
2 pans at the same time.
Oh, yes.
So you love to cook? Have you always loved to cook?
Oh yes, all I've ever wanted to do.
Well, living your dream then, huh?
Yes.
Not everybody can say that for sure. Although, you know, my hard assignment is standing here watching you cook and then eating your food afterwards. So I'm not going to complain about my job
No. Turn that up a little bit and we'll just let that sear.
either. Okay. Do you ever get to cook for Mr. Palmer himself?
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
Yes, in the summer he's here.
He probably loves this dish then.
Oh
huh?
yes.
Very good.
Okay, we're gonna take our potatoes. Season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. A little bit of paprika. Okay, then we're gonna add a little bit of garlic. Smoked jalapeno.
So everybody's always looking for a new take on chicken. Is this something you'd recommend at home, or
Oh,
would you
yeah.
prefer they come see you at the country club, right?
Well, they can always come and see me. But if you can make it at home,
Why not?
that's right. Next we'll add some onion. Peppers. Some celery.
So this is what's going to be the hash.
Yes. All these vegetables marrying together their flavors. We'll add some squash. Add the black beans.
Wow, that smells amazing.
Season with some more salt and pepper.
So before you're going to serve this up and plate it, you want to make sure you bake the chicken for a bit?
Yes, you want to make sure you cook it to 165 degrees. You want to put it in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes probably.
Okay. Well, through the magic of television, once again, we're ready to plate our food.
Okay. I'm going to put down some of your hash. Okay. Offset your chicken a little bit. Then the always standard go-to, a little bit of parsley. And that's that.
Absolutely beautiful. So this is a great recipe that you can try at home. Lots of healthy ingredients. Doesn't take too long to make. So if you want to go visit Chef Laura at Arnold Palmer Latrobe Country Club, either it's time to be a member or find someone who is so
Find
they
a
can
friend.
take you to lunch. Thank you for all you did today, and thank you so much for all you do for the Liver Foundation.
Thank you.
Just beyond the Cultural District in downtown Greensburg is a fabulous place called 111. I act like the folks at home haven't heard of it, but everybody's heard of 111, and that's primarily because of you. Chef Bryan Hutson is here with us tonight from 111, and tell us, what are you making today?
Today we're going to make a Parmesan crusted chicken breast that's just going to be topped with a very simple arugula salad, just some fresh prosciutto Parma ham, fresh capers, and a little bit of a lemon vinaigrette. We're just going to top it with a little bit of shaved Romano cheese.
Sounds like exactly what I made Saturday night for dinner. It's so weird. No, I'm just kidding. I can't wait to Teach me, please, teach me.
Okay, so first we're going to start with our standard breading procedure, which is generally flour, eggs, and breadcrumbs. Instead of the breadcrumbs, though, we're going to use a fresh grated Romano cheese. And you really want to go with a Romano cheese for the little more flavor to it. If you use a Parmesan, you're not going to get quite the same flavor out of it. It's a little drier and a little less pungent.
So you are no stranger to flavors. You've done many years of flavors in Pittsburgh, is that right?
Yes, I've done a couple years of flavors in Pittsburgh, and this will be my second year for flavors for Westmoreland County.
Now, will we see this on your menus, or have we seen this on your menus?
Actually, this is currently on our menu.
At 111.
At 111.
You can get this. Look at this. I love how thin the chicken breast is, so that probably helps it cook up nice and quickly.
It helps to cook it up nice and quick, and it also helps for it to cook a lot more evenly.
Okay, so flour first.
You always want to make sure you get flour. It gives your egg wash something to stick to, which will in turn help to give your breadcrumbs something to stick to.
Okay.
And we're going to go with a nice medium heat here and let our pan start to get nice and warm. And anytime, you always want to make sure that you shake off any excess. You don't want a really thick breading on it.
Okay. So just egg, that's it.
Just egg.
Now the cheese instead of the breadcrumbs. Wow. That looks fantastic.
Okay, so we get that nice and coated.
Tell us about 111.
111, we try to do a modern American cuisine. We do a lot of fresh fish. We do a lot of fresh seafood. A lot of my background is based in fish and seafood, so we really try to focus on that. Our new spring menu, we're going to be featuring some a lot more fresh fish even than we currently do, with some fresh Chilean sea bass, some fresh grouper. And instead of just running it on the menu or running it as a feature, we're going to run it on our menu, and hopefully bring a little more fresh fish to the Greensburg area.
So good for you too.
We also try to do a lot more modern, a little more modern cuisine. We try to keep things, try to stay current with the industry in the field as far as, you know, what's going on, what are the new flavors, new techniques, and things like that. Now we're going to let this go for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. We're going to flip it. You want to make sure that your heat's, you're looking for that nice golden brown color. You want to make sure that the cheese is getting brown, because that's going to give you a little bit of texture as well. You know, because you want something that's crunchy. We try to keep our flavors simple. You know, I know that kind of current trend is kind of to put a lot of things on the plate. We try to kind of simplify things and keep things so that you can taste the natural ingredients and the actual products that are being utilized.
This smells so good. You can smell the cheese cooking. It's wonderful.
Okay, and while we're waiting for that to finish up, we're just going to put together our salad. We just have some fresh arugula. Arugula, this is baby arugula. Arugula is always nice just because it adds a fresh peppery flavor to anything and a little bit of a bite. To this salad, we're just going to add a little bit of capers. This is some julienne prosciutto parma, which is just a salt-cured ham. And then this is just a simple lemon vinaigrette, and all this is just literally fresh lemon juice, olive oil, salt and pepper, just to keep it simple, because we really don't want to overpower the flavor. We just want the acidity to help to cut through the cheese on the chicken itself.
So lemon juice, salt and pepper, and olive oil.
And olive oil. The key is to keep it simple, because you're going to get a lot of flavor from the prosciutto parm, and you get a lot of flavor from the capers and the arugula. Our chicken should be almost ready.
Now, when you're making this at home, it could be very easy to burn this if you're not watching it.
One of my biggest suggestions, if you're going to make this at home, is to brown it and then just pop it into a 350 oven.
Oh, really?
And, you know, let it go for 7 or 8 minutes. That way you don't have to worry about it burning. You know, you really don't have to worry about overcooking it. It's much simpler that way, just to brown it and then finish it in the oven. So now that our chicken's finished, we're just going to take it and let it drain for a second and onto our plate. And we're just going to take our nice little salad. You don't want to dress the salad too far in advance, because it'll start to break down the lettuce or the arugula itself, you want it to still have some of its structure. And then just to finish it, we're just going to take a little bit of fresh Romano and grate this right over the top.
And now my favorite part. So I'm going to cut you a piece of this chicken. There you go. I'm going to cut myself a piece of this chicken. Some salad on there.
And you definitely want to try to pick up, a little bit of the capers and a little bit of prosciutto and get a little bit in each bite.
That is fantastic. What a wonderful combination. And I think too, people are always looking for new ways to make chicken at home. This is fantastic. But I would never go home to make this. I would just come straight to you. You were fantastic today. Thank you for all that you do for the Liver Foundation and Flavors of Westmoreland. You can check out Chef Bryan at 111 in Greensburg, just outside the Cultural District. All right, we're back to cooking, this time with Chef Mark Henry from Chef Mark's Palate along Route 30 in Latrobe. He's one of the biggest supporters of the Liver Foundation's event, Flavors of Westmoreland. Chef Mark, thank you so much for all you do.
It's a pleasure.
And thank
It's a
you for
pleasure.
being here today. We're inside your restaurant, and we are making a palate pleaser, a palate cleanser. Tell us
Yes.
what it's about.
It's actually called an intermezzo. It's a clean, fresh palate cleanser that goes between courses in a multiple course dinner. If you were to, for instance, to have a salmon course followed up by veal, you wouldn't want the flavor of salmon to linger, so you want something fresh and light and clean that will cleanse your palate so that you can enjoy the next course.
All right, take us through. Here
Well,
we
what
go.
we're having today is actually called a jasmine tea sorbet. Now, what's going to make this a little bit unusual and unique is I'm going to serve it in an ice balloon, because the presentation of the palate cleanser, it maintains that wow factor, that plate presentation. So what I'm going to do first is start with the tea. Okay, we have some jasmine tea. Now what we want to do is make a simple syrup tea. So I'm taking almost a cup of sugar in about a cup and a half of water, and I'm going to put it in there. Now, there's a lot of sugar. If you don't like a lot of sugar, you can use agave syrup or something that might be a little bit more healthy. But what we're going to do is we're going to let that steep for a second so that the sugar is completely well dissolved. So what we're making here is jasmine tea that's
Smells
infused with
wonderful
sugar.
already.
Oh, I love jasmine tea. It's calming, it's pleasant. Okay, let's see if we can do this over the sink. Okay. I'm going to stop right there. And we'll let that steep. Okay, meanwhile, we're going to make the sorbet. Now it's very, very simple. It's egg whites with the sugar and the flavoring.
Okay.
Now, whatever kind of sorbet that you seem to be making, I've made rose petal sorbet. It doesn't matter. You're developing your flavor, and then you're putting in a light egg white whip, and then you're freezing it.
So next up for the sorbet, we're using egg whites.
So we've got some egg whites. We'll save the yolks. What I'm going to do is let these rest for a minute while we let the tea steep, okay?
All right.
And meanwhile, I'm going to make the ice balloons,
All right.
okay? Okay, what we're going to do is fill up little water balloons.
This would be something fun to do with the kids at home. too.
Oh, absolutely. Now you want to eliminate all the air by letting the water come out a little bit. Then you tie it off.
Well, you're pretty good at that. I might have to invite you to my next family reunion. If you're
I guess I might have been a bad kid. All right. And actually, I use a paper clip. And I just unfold a little paper clip. And there's a little hook that I can hang it in my freezer. And I use the other side to hook around the end of the ice balloon. And now I take this and I hang it in my freezer.
Isn't that amazing?
Okay?
All right, while the balloons freeze, we're going to head to the sorbet.
Yes. First we want to whip the egg whites. And I'm going to use a little wand mixer. It doesn't have to be a big one like this. The ones that you have the smaller ones work just fine. And basically all I'm doing is whipping the egg whites up. Now I'm not looking for a meringue. I'm looking for just a whipped egg whites. Now the egg whites are raw. You don't want raw egg whites, so you take the hot steeped tea and you add it to the egg whites.
So it's cooking them.
It's cooking them, so they are no longer raw. You only need to hit about 140 degrees here before the egg whites are fully cooked, which isn't too much because there's only about 3 ounces of egg whites there. We're adding, okay, there we go. That's basically all we need to do to make the base of the sorbet. Do you want to take that? Okay. Now you do want to check it for flavor to make sure that it's not too sweet. See how it actually thickens a little bit? Okay. It's like almost like a light meringue. You want that
Speechless.
nice.
It's
Yeah,
so
well
good.
you want that. I'm gonna have to give you a taste.
Oh,
This
hard job I have.
is warm, but it's not
you.
yet frozen.
all right.
It's nice. It's just a very clean palate, fresh, refreshing
Wonderful.
thing.
Wonderful.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in the freezer, okay? And then we'll come back to our balloons.
Okay. So while the balloons are freezing and the
Yes.
sorbet is freezing,
Yes.
let's talk about you for a second and this wonderful restaurant. After 30 years, you decided to settle down right here in Latrobe.
Well, we live very, very close. This is our home now, and frankly, I'm very comfortable in this community. I love this place to live, and so this is our home. This is where we're staying.
It's wonderful. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure people at home know about is your cooking classes that you have, lessons on the first and third
Yes.
Tuesdays of every month.
Yes.
So you call Mark, you make a reservation, and you can come and bring a whole group here. I've done it myself, and you are fantastic. It's wonderful.
Fun. It's fun. Actually, our class coming up, I have one coming tomorrow night. The first Tuesday of every month, we're doing something called Stone Soup. And what it is it's a class that it kind of alludes to the Iron Chef or mystery basket things you see on TV. Every student brings an ingredient. And then we look at all the ingredients that have been brought, we create a menu, and then we do it.
I love it.
It's risky, it's crazy, but it's fun, and you can get extremely creative.
I think
Okay.
that's great. Well, through the magic of television, our sorbet is frozen.
It's frozen. Basically, at this point, the sorbet is frozen, but I want to whip it up in a food processor to make it light and fresh for service. Okay, so now it's all hard and frozen. And all we want to do is whip it up until it comes back together smooth.
At this point, you want to season it up a little bit.
I just want to refresh it with fresh lemon zest and juice. Okay, so there's some fresh lemon zest because I want it to, it's a palate cleanser. It's supposed to be extremely light and refreshing. Okay, and some juice. Trying not to get the seeds in there. That's our sorbet. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to present this. It looks awfully modest right now.
But just wait.
So let's present it in a unique and beautiful way.
Wow,
The-
look at that.
The ice balloon, I've cut, what I've done is I've allowed the ice to freeze for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, just so that there's a thin wall of ice. And then using a Dremel, I cut a hole in the ice and poured out the water.
That is amazing.
Okay? Now, all you really need is to put the sorbet inside, and it's interesting. But let's dress up the plate a little bit. So we'll put a little flour on there, and then we can put maybe some orange segments inside.
Wow.
Maybe a little piece of lemon. And then we can do a little canal of sorbet. Okay?
Isn't
And that's what you serve.
that is absolutely gorgeous. I love it, and how creative
Is that pretty?
and refreshing. And it's a good thing you came back when you did, because it all would have been gone if you were gone any longer. It's tremendous.
Would you like a taste?
Yes.
Oh, of course, you already sort of had
I
a taste.
already sort of did, but I'd be happy to try it again.
Okay.
I love it. Okay, get a little bit of the orange down there too.
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
Fabulous.
Well, I hope you enjoyed. Well,
I
thank
really
you so
did.
much.
Thank you so
It's
much,
a pleasure.
Chef Mark from Chef Mark's Palette in Latrobe. Remember, this is also a restaurant, grab and go, catering. He does it all. So if you're interested, make sure you give him a call, or you can visit his wonderful website online.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
all
much.
you do.
Oh, it's a pleasure.